In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Hey, welcome to another edition of Smart Chat. It is Columbus Day, October the 8th, 2012. And we will begin right after this. And today's topic is promos. And it begins right after. Yes, it is Columbus Day. And I read that little ditty for you. I read it twice. First time, if you notice, I was reading it. The second time, it was something not memorized and it was more off the top of the head. Which leads me to 2 weeks ago on Raw. Yes, I know it's a little bit late, but 2 weeks ago on Raw, you had that epic promo by Mick Foley against CM Punk. Mick Foley, long story short, in that promo, addressed how CM Punk needs to be in that Hell in a Cell match to accept it with John Cena. That way he could fortify his quote-unquote, finger quote, legendness. And it brings me up to this, and I won't bore you with the whole rundown of Raw from 2 weeks ago, or even this past week, or even tonight's Raw. But my question to you is, why can't wrestlers in today's modern era cut promos like that? I mean, think about it. Who realistically is able to cut a promo nowadays? A promo that has you at the edge of your seats. You have CM Punk, Paul Heyman, who's not a wrestler, John Cena, and now, he has cheesy promos. That's probably because of the way his character is now. But if you remember in his Thug Life gimmick, the guy cut decent promos. Why can't wrestlers cut decent promos nowadays? If you follow guys like, for example, Dolph Ziggler on Twitter, you know that he's a hilarious guy. But you wouldn't know it because they don't give him the mic. And when he does grab the mic, it's nothing really earth-shattering. So why not? Why? Why don't we have wrestlers that are able to cut promos? Is it because of what they're basically handed by the writers and they're just forced to read it? That probably is it. But why not go off the script a bit? Diverge from the script. You could tell that when you're off the script, just covering bulletins, points, like Mick Foley does, like CM Punk does, and even back in the day, one of my favorites growing up, Brian Pillman. A man that was way ahead of his time. You hear stories, you hear interviews, how this guy was such a character that even backstage people don't know if he was ribbing them or he was just that wacky, that crazy. He kept that persona going. So why do we not have people that are able to do those type of promos no more? Maybe, and let's all face it, say it, that the WWE is in a bad state right now. Who do you have besides CM Punk right now and John Cena? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that John Cena is this great wrestler and that he's great. In no means. At least not for my taste. It's obvious that he is for other people's taste. Take, for example, Raw's rating last week. It was the most horrible rating that they had in, I believe, 15 years that was a non-holiday show. If the WWE is afraid that wrestlers aren't able to work off the top of the head, even use bulletin points, then why not have a mouthpiece for these wrestlers? Why not introduce managers that are able to do this type of mic work, cut promos for the wrestlers, put them over? Guys like Paul Heyman should not be with CM Punk. CM Punk does not need a mouthpiece. From all looks of things, who knows? It seems that maybe there is no managers out there. That's a sad state, which kind of leads me in, to the big announcement that Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he will deliver a State of the WWE address tonight on Raw. And, there are a lot of things that he should announce, like doing away with Raw for 3 hours, because as you see, being at 3 hours of Raw, and actually it's over 3 hours of Raw, you really don't have a lot of content to fill in that 3 hours. Look at it, for example. It's very thin, horrible moments that want to put you through sleep within that 3 hour cast. Who do they have right now besides CM Punk, John Cena? There's only so many times that you could run out Daniel Bryan. A couple of Raws ago, I believe there were 6 or 7 segments with Daniel Bryan and Kane. But after a while, that wears away, and he does not receive, you can't expect him to receive that loud of a pop that he does after seeing him 6 or 7 times throughout the night. WWE, Vince should do away with the 3 hour Raw. There's too much content to fill in that time, especially if you have main event on now, recently on Wednesdays, SmackDown on Fridays, and you have the Raw flagship station as well. Not even including Superstars and NXT. And it's wearing away the wear and tear of this schedule that they have. 3 hour Raws, house shows, TV tapings. It's taking its toll. For example, John Cena again. Let's face it, he brings ratings for the little kids and the woman. He's been wearing and tearing after having that rigorous schedule the last 6 or 8 years. But you think Vince is willing to put off John Cena from TV? Look what's happened. The ratings have dropped. So there are many announcements that Vince should make. But I think what he will announce is that he will do away with the Raw GM. AJ, do away with her. Not necessarily make a new announcement as to who the new GM would be. I think what he's looking to do is to prolong it, make it last a few extra weeks to hopefully increase the ratings. That big tease. Is that enough? When we look at the ratings for tomorrow, do you think Vince McMahon coming out will do that big of a spike in ratings? I don't think so. You have baseball on today with the New York Yankees. New York is a big market. You also have the football games between Dallas and New York on Monday, which is also another Texas. Texas is a big market for ratings. So it's interesting to see what will happen. It kind of makes me worried as a wrestling fan that, again, that you do not have any wrestlers that are able to cut promos, hence not able to put themselves over, hence why we're having this discussion, hence why there's really no one besides on the roster that will drive ratings, CM Punk and John Cena. even to backtrack what I just said, they even announced CM Punk to be on Raw with Paul Heyman addressing John Cena, and it still did nothing for the ratings. So, especially when they announced in the beginning, that was last week, that John Cena is not there. So it brings a lot to worry about. And, hopefully the WWE comes to its senses, but which they probably won't, at least this week, and cut down their flagship telecast. Because unless they can find talent, introduce new talent to get you excited about, it's really a struggle to keep the TV on to watch Raw. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe. That's right above. Leave me your comments. All my pertinent information is to the left or to the right, wherever I put it. So, until next time, later, marks.